So today we will continue from shloka number 31. Shloka number 31, Krishna is going to talk about what are the consequences. That is, if you follow it, what will happen, what good will happen. If you don't follow all these sadhanas, what bad will happen. Because basically the idea is that we will practice those 11 sadhanas to purify our mind. Then we will move to Atma Jnana. Then from there we will move to Moksha. So he says that at least the sadhanas must be practiced because you should continue to purify your mind. So this shloka number 31. Yajna shishtamrita bhujaha yanti brahma sanatanam nayan lokostya yajnasya kutonyah kuru sattama. Talks about the consequences of following all these yajnas or the sadhanas or the practices and not following all these practices. So he says here, yajna shishta amrita bhujaha. That means shishta meaning it means the remnants. So once you have given something to somebody, if you take the remaining of that yajna, yanti brahma sanatanam. So yanti meaning to go, brahma sanatanam. So he goes to the absolute truth, the Brahman, which is sanatanam, which is eternal. So the one who has done all these yajnas and he has taken the remnants of this yajna. Suppose he has offered something in sacrifice and then he eats that prasad, then he is purified. That's what he wants to say. So he goes to the absolute truth. Nayam lokaha asti. Nayam lokaha asti. That means never I am this. Lokaha means this planet or this world. Asti is. So there is no world for who is he talking about? Ayajnasya. Ayajnasya means he is not doing the sacrifice. So this person who is not doing the sacrifice. To the person who is doing the sacrifice, he said he goes to the Brahman itself directly. But this one Ayajnasya, this person who doesn't do the sacrifice, what happens? Kutaha anyaha kuru sattama. Kutaha anyaha, that means how? Anyaha, other world. He talked about the lokaha, right? He talked about the lokaha. Now he is talking about the anyaha, that means the other world. Kuru sattama, he is addressing Arjuna as the best of Kurus. So what does the general translation mean here? So those who know the secret of the sacrifice, engaging in it, partake its remnants that are like nectar, and they advance towards the absolute truth. O best of Kurus, those who perform no sacrifice find no happiness either in this world or the next. So he put a statement like not a question, but it is like an objection. Kutaha anyaha. That means how in the other world he will get happiness. That means he has not prepared himself in this world itself. In this world, you must prepare yourself spiritually by doing all these yajnas, and then leave alone moksha. First of all, you will not be happy. If you are just being selfish, doing things only for yourself and not doing it as a sacrifice, then you will never be happy because you want more and more. So he will not be happy. Then how you will get the other lokas or the other good lokas? You will not get the other good lokas. That is what he wants to say. This talks about the phalan of doing and not doing and the consequences of doing these yajnas or not doing these yajnas. Shloka number 32. Evam bahuvidha yajnaha vitata brahmano mukhe karmajan vidhitan sarvan evam nyatva vimokshase. So here in 2 lines he is talking about 2 different things here. So first line he is going to talk about the origin of these yajnas. He wants to say that these yajnas, I am not telling because all the yajnas will have phalam. Okay, this will have a result. So whatever I am telling, I am not telling Arjuna. It is coming from the Vedas. And Vedas, it is written. Not only these 12 yajnas, more yajnas are written. So what, if you follow what will happen, what results will come, that is being told by the Vedas. That's what he wants to say in the first line. So we will see what the first line is. Evam bahuvida yajnaha. Evam, thus, Bahuvidaha. So various kinds of yajnas he talked about. From Ahara Niyama to Pranayama, he talked about so many yajnas. So Bahuvida yajnaha, sacrifices. Hitata Brahmano Mukhe. Hitata means it has been described in the Brahmano Mukhe. So here the Brahmanaha is taking the meaning of the Vedas. So we must interpret it as it is the Vedas here. Brahmano Mukhe meaning it is coming from the mouth of the Vedas. Mukhe means the mouth. So he is saying that all these have come directly from the Vedas. So all these things which I am telling you has come from the Vedas. Then second line he says, Karmajan vidhi tan sarvan evam nyatva mimokshase. So in the second line, he again goes to the topic of the Jnana Karma Sannyasa. And what he wants to say is, Karmajan vidhitan sarvan. Karmajan means these are originating from the karma. It is born from the karma or it is born from the anatma. All these yajnas which you are doing is actually coming from the anatma part. It is not the atma is doing the yajnas. Karmajan, it is born out of karma. Vidhi tan sarvan. Vidhi means to know. Tan sarvan. So know them all. And thus, evam nyatva vimokshase. Evam means thus, nyatva means having known, vimokshase, you shall be liberated. So the first line was straightforward. These yajnas are described in the Vedas and it is coming from the mouth of the Vedas. So in the second line, what he is saying is that karma can be broken into three types. Three types meaning created from three places. Okay. Kayikam, which means it is coming from action. When you are doing the yajna, like you are taking the things, you are doing some action. So that is called the Kayikam. And Vachikam, it is coming also from the words. If you are chanting something, if you are reading something, so all these are like words. So Vachikam. And Manasam, so it is coming from the mind. So from the mind also you will do the karma. First you will do from the mind only. Then it gets translated into action. So Kayikam from action, Vachikam from words and Manasam from mind. So three origins are there for this karma. And where all these places are, it is not the Atma, it is Anatma. So the Kayikam is like your body is doing it. Vachikam means your mouth is doing it. And then the Manasam means it's coming from the mind. So these things are separate from your Atma. So whenever you are doing the yajnas, know that your Anatma part is doing all the yajnas. Because if we attach again to that oh, I am doing, then the ego will also come. Then it is against spirituality actually. So sometimes the more religious you become, the less spiritual also you can become because your ego is increasing. Oh, I am so great, I am doing all this, I know everything. Like that, if you are developing ego on the other side, then there is no use of any yajna. The yajna should be there to make you humble and to remove your ego. Only with that purpose we should do the yajna. So don't think that, oh, I am so efficient, I am doing all these yajnas. If we think like that, all the palan is gone. So he wants to say that separate this anatma from the atma, that is the jnana karma sannyasa that we saw, and know that the yajnas are performed, karmajan, it is born out of karma, and the karma is always related to the anatma. So you separate this and do the karmas. So then you will get the purity of the mind. So that is the meaning here. So the general translation comes, all these different kinds of sacrifices have been described in the Vedas. Know them as originating from different types of work. Thus, understanding cuts the knots of material bondage. Originating from work, originating from the body, or originating from the anatma. Anyway, you can read it because the work is always related to the anatma. So this was the shloka. Shloka number 33. This is an important shloka. Shreyan dravyamayad yajnat ज्ञानयज्ञः परन्तप सर्वं कर्माखिलं पार्थ ज्ञाने परिसमाप्यते. So this is an important shloka which talks about basically the essence of why he talked about the 12 yajnas. We'll see the individual meanings after I give a little bit of explanation. So we saw that in that sadhanas part, he divided into two. He said that 11 things are conducive for you to get the Atmajnana, and one is the Atmajnana itself. So he divided into two. So the question is, what should I do and what leads to moksha? So what he said in that shloka is that he put the 11 together and then Atmajnana, because Atmajnana, he said, is higher than these 11 sadhanas or these 11 yajnas. Then why is Atmajnana the highest yajna? That is the question here. Why is Atmajnana the highest yajna that has been talked is because everything else, every other yajna, the 11 other yajnas that you perform, like the pranayama, the ahara niyama, or the damaha, shamaha, all this will be anityam and it is karmajan vidhi. It is all coming from your body alone. It is coming from your anatma alone. So that is one reason why this is Atmajnana is more superior to the other yajnas. Another interpretation or explanation is that through Atmajnana is what the Purushartha is achieved. Like the main Purushartha is what for us is to attain moksha. For us, the Purushartha is not the other things. Like we are not here to get all the other, the material riches or the fame or the glory. That is not the purpose. Our Purushartha or goal of life is to get moksha. So we all have to work towards getting moksha. So that is achieved only through Atmajnana. And then, as I said before, what happens is when you do the other yajnas, your doership becomes very strong. I am doing, like that, your ego starts to actually become more. Because of this, your ajnanam or ignorance increases actually. Your spirituality doesn't increase. You are doing religious things, you are sitting and you are doing chanting, everything. But I am doing more. If you think like that, then actually why we are here, that purpose itself goes. But Atmajnana is when you will go away from the ego. So that is why it will give you the full phalan of what you want to do, which is moksha. So the 11 should not, it should lead to purity. You should use it in the right way. So to give the Atmajnana more power, the Krishna gives less importance to the other yajnas. It's not as though they are less important, but he wants to give more power to the Atmajnana. When these things are done, usually when you do yoga and stuff, it becomes the goal itself. Oh, this, I have to do these asanas, or I have to do this Shirasasana, or whatever. It is not the goal. This is there to help us to get the Atmajnana and to get moksha. When all these practices themselves become the goal, then it becomes futile. So whatever the practices we are using, we must use it for spiritual development, not for boosting the ego, or not for health reasons is good, but mainly for spiritual development. We will see the meaning. So he says here, Shreyan Dravyamayat Yajnat. That means Shreyan meaning superior, Dravyamayat, of all the material processions, Yajnat. So those sacrifices you did materially. You offered things to God. Materially you did, right? So Jnana Yajna Parantapa. So Jnana Yajna is more superior. Parantapa, he's addressing Arjuna. So more than all these things done with material possessions, if you do the Jnana Yajna, then that is more superior. So then he says, Sarvam Karma Akhilam Partha, Jnane Parisamapyate. So Sarvam, all karma works, Akhilam Partha, all of them, what happens is, he's addressing Partha, Arjuna, Jnane Parisamapyate. Jnane Parisamapyate means everything culminates in knowledge. So we said that all these 11 sadhanas that people are doing, the gateway is only Atmajnana. You will come and meet them. Whoever did whatever sadhana, they will all come and meet, and the final will be the Atmajnana. From the Atmajnana, you remove the ego and you go towards moksha. So here, Shreyan Dravya Mayat Yajnat Jnana Yajna Paran. So that is why the Atmajnana is superior. We saw several reasons why Atmajnana is superior to the the yajna performed with material possessions. Sarvam karma kilam partha jnane parisamapyate. So he says that once you get that Atma Jnana, then your need to do everything, your to-do list, everything will go away. Once you get to that stage of Atma Jnana, culminates, comes and ends there. So the general translation becomes, O Arjuna, sacrifice performed in knowledge is superior to any mechanical material sacrifice. After all, O Arjuna, all sacrifices of work culminate in knowledge. So he is given the Atma Jnana that in the highest pedestal. So this is one important shloka. Then, okay, there is also one more thing which says Dravyamayat Yajnaha Phala Arambaha. That means it gives the phala, and Jnana Yajnaha is phala Anarambaha. That means it takes away the phala. So the Dravyamayat will give you the phala. So each action you do will get the phala. But when you get to the Jnana Yajna, all your phalas go away and your bank balance becomes nil. So you never get a birth again. 34. Shloka number 34 is one very important shloka. Tadvidbhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninastatvadarshinaha. So this one I will give the explanation first little bit, then we will see the meaning. So in the last shloka, he says that jnana will give the moksha. So in this shloka, we have the question, how we will get the jnana. So I am in this material world, I am only thinking about day-to-day things. Now, how will I get to moksha? It seems to be like a very big step, or it's a very big leap for me. So how I will go to moksha? So that is a question which is answered here. And people are deluded about how they can get jnana. So the answer here given is, you will get knowledge from Guru and from the Vedas. By that we will get the knowledge. So here we will see the qualities of the disciple and the qualities of the Guru. So how we had to get this jnana? Okay, so how did Nachiketas get the jnana? We saw in Kathopanishad. Saw that it is a dialogue between Nachiketas and the Yamadharmaraja, where Nachiketas, his father, we saw this story earlier, that he was doing a sacrifice, and Nachiketas, his father was donating like very old cows. Yajna, he was like donating old cows. And Nachiketas said, why are you giving these old cows? Instead, you give me. And the father didn't listen to him, but Nachiketas kept on saying, you have to offer me. Why can't you offer me? And then in the anger, the father said, okay, I will offer you to Yama then. Like that in the anger, he said. So then Nachiketas is said to have gone to Yamadharmaraja, where he got the Upadesa about the Atmajnana. So the qualities of the student are given. So one is the Uttama student, which is, who is he? Without prompting itself, he will do everything. So he doesn't need any prompting. And another student is the Madhyama. That means he will take the advice and then he will do it. And the other one is Adhamaha. That means even after taking the advice, he will not do anything. So there are three types of student. One student, without prompting itself, he will do. And the other student, taking the advice, he will do. And the other third category, even after receiving the advice, he will not do. So father says, I told only once in anger, go away to Yama. That means you don't need to go. But he says, no, I am the Shishya who is Uttama. One time if you tell, I will do. Like that, the quality of the student should be. And in the way in which Nachiketas asked Yamadharmaraja, when Yamadharmaraja offered everything, he said, I will give you a long life, I will give you all this wealth, I will give you kingdom. He said, he did not budge. Nachiketas said, no, sorry, I don't want. Only thing I want is this Atmajnana. I don't want any other thing from you. So that mumukshutva was there for Nachiketas. So these are all the qualities of the great student. If we don't have the qualities of Nachiketas, so what should we do? So the first step is, as we saw before, first is we will purify our mind. We will purify our mind. How? By doing all these sadhanas, whatever the spiritual practices have been said. Because if there is rubbish in the plate, like will you eat it? You will not eat it. You will clean the plate, you will throw the rubbish, and then you will take the fresh food. Like that, the mind has to remove all the debris. Just going and sitting somewhere in a lecture will not give any knowledge, because why? The mind is full of rubbish. So the mind has to be purified. After the purification is done, when you put whatever you put, then it is easily grasped. So that is the concept. So what are the qualities of the student? Now we will see in the shloka it is said, the tadvidhi, they are telling, right? So tadvidhi means tat is the truth. So the truth you are trying to learn about vidhi. So how he learns this good Sishya? Pranipatena. That means he is bowing down to the Guru and he is surrendering his ego. We saw in the Guru Padaka Stotram also, why should we bow down to the feet of the Guru, like sandals of the Guru, the lowest part, because our ego should be removed. So because of that quality only you can progress. You cannot progress with ego or thinking I am the best or I am the greatest. So pranipatena, you have to surrender your ego to the Guru. That is the one quality which is said. And pariprashnena, you have to make humble inquiries. The thing is, if you do not ask, the Guru will not give. That is number one. And how you should ask very humbly. It has been said that he will not give the knowledge to the wrong person also. He should not. So how should we go? First of all, we should surrender our ego, pranipatena, and pariprashnena. We should make humble inquiries to the Guru. And sevaya, what should we do? By rendering the service. This is the karma yoga we talked about. So three things, good qualities of is pranipatena, bowing to the Guru and surrendering the ego. Pariprashnena, making the humble inquiries. Sevaya, by rendering service. This is the karma yoga. It leads to the purity of the mind. And another quality is also we will see again and again is the shraddha that our scriptures talk about. It is said that the student, okay, now we are happy, we are okay, we don't think too much of spirituality. But once some big problem comes, then we don't want this world at all. You feel, oh, I feel like taking sannyasa. Like that, many people have experienced, and they will go to the Guru, say, I don't want to be in this world. It is full of problems. Like that, they will go to the Guru. At that time, the Guru will say, oh, no, actually, you don't worry. You are this Brahman. You are the one who is ultimate happiness. Like that, when he says, the teaching will be totally contradictory. What we have experienced is full of sorrow. And what the Guru is telling is, you are this Brahma Swarupam. You are this the bliss consciousness, everything. You are that. So how do you bridge this gap? Only by faith. So the faith should be there for the student when he approaches the Guru, and this he sees in the Guru the phalan of the jnana, quality of the Guru we are going to see. So the realized Guru is showing what is possible, so that student sees it and then his faith increases, and this shraddha is very important to get from this place to another place. So what are the things we saw? The pranipatena, going down to the Guru, pariprashnena, humble inquiry, sevaya, service, and also shraddha, which is not being talked about but will be talked about later. All these qualities are needed for the disciple. Now, the qualities of the Guru is coming. So here they are saying, upadekshanti. Upadekshanti means the Guru will impart the knowledge. So the Guru will impart the knowledge, we saw, to the right person, to the purified person. If your mind is not pure, he will say, okay, you have to purify yourself and then come to me for the knowledge. If you have the right purity of the mind, he will give you the knowledge and then immediately you will realize. And he will also impart out of compassion. The Guru who is realized will know that all this is false. The world that you are experiencing, out of compassion also, he will give the teaching to the disciple. So, upadekshanti, he will impart the knowledge. Jnaninaha. So two things are being talked about, Jnaninaha and Tattvadarshinaha, which we are going to see what it means. This person has learnt by Sampradaya. In Guru Sishya Parampara, it has been passed on and he has learnt in the methodical way. Jnaninaha, Tattvadarshinaha. So Tattvadarshinaha means this person who has realized the truth. So these are the two words that are being talked about. So how they learn methodically, these are the qualities of the Guru we are looking at. And the Guru who has learned methodically, he would have learned like all the Shastras, the pada, that means the literature of the words. He would have learned some shastras, which is known as a Vyakaranam Shastram. And then he would have learned the sentence meanings, which is given in the Purva Mimamsa Shastram. And then he would have learned the Tarka Shastra, which gives a way to deliberate and all those things. So he would have learned all these things systematically. And this kind of a teacher is known as the Shrotriyan. This is the quality of one type of a guru. So this we are going to see now. So the guru categories can be divided into three. One will be the Uttama Guru. Uttama Guru means, I told you, Shrotriyan means he has learned methodically and he is a Brahmanishtan. That means he has realized, the person who has self-realized. So the guru that you approach, the spiritual guru that you approach must be both. So why he is Uttama Guru? Because he will be able to give you the step-by-step process. He will assess where you are and then he will say, okay, you are in this stage. Now you need to do this to do that. So he will be able to give you the step-by-step process because he has learned the Shastras systematically and methodically. And then because he is a realized guru, he will also be able to give you the ultimate truth, which is Aham Brahmasmi, I am the ultimate Brahman. That truth from his own experience he will give. So that's why he is called a Uttama Guru. So the Uttama Guru is both a Shrotriyan and a Brahmanishta. He has learned Shastra methodically and he has also experienced the truth for himself. So these are the two things. And then there is one category of Guru who is just only the Shrotriyan. So what is the advantage of having this kind of a Guru? So this person will methodically teach you, okay, this is the first step, this is the second step, this is the third step. But however, when you come to the highest point, Aham Brahmasmi, that thing, he will only have book experience. He cannot talk from his own personal experience. So this is the disadvantage of having the guru who is only a Shrotriyan, who has just learned systematically but does not have the real direct knowledge. And then the next is the kind of the guru who is the Brahmanishtan only. So what happens in this case? They are very ripe. From the previous Janma, they have done so many things. So their thing is fully ripe. So just one thing is enough to tickle you. Like how Buddha, he saw a dead body, he immediately went in the path of spirituality. Like that, we see so many things, but nothing, triggers us. So these people are fully ripe. And just one thing will trigger them and then they will become self-realized. But the problem is that they do not have the step-by-step knowledge. They are all great souls and great individuals who are self-realized. But if you approach them as a guru, then if you go and tell them your problems, if you say, okay, I am in this stage, they will not be able to guide you step by step. So this is the pitfall of having a guru who is only a Brahmanishta. So you should always seek a spiritual guru who is both Shrotriyan and a Brahmanishtan, who has the methodical learning and also they self-realized and he is able to talk from his own experience. What it is said is that the guru's main, what knowledge the guru will give is the Adhyaropa Apavadam, it is called. It looks complicated, it's not complicated. So it is made up of two words. Adhyaropam means the superimposition. Like we saw that the snake was superimposed on the rope. Like that, this whole world is superimposed. And we are believing that the snake is the truth. We believe that the world is the truth. What happens is that this Shrotriyan will be able to accept, yes, there is a superimposition. Like that, he will tell you. If you approach him, the Shrotriya Guru will tell, yes, there is a superimposition, that he will tell you. If you approach Guru who is only Brahmanishtan, he will say, okay, he will do the Apavadam. Apavadam means negation. Oh, this snake does not exist. Only the rope exists. Like that he will tell because he himself has seen the Brahman. He himself has realized the truth. So he'll say, oh, actually all this is incorrect. You are the Brahma Swarupam. Like that he will just say without knowing your level. But the guru who is both the Shrotriyan and the Brahmanishta, he will be doing the Adhyaropa Apavadam. That means he will say, yes, there is an existence of the samsara, but this samsara is not real and we have to negate it. All this is only the Brahman and you are the Brahman. You are the supreme consciousness and bliss. Like that, he will be able to give you the highest knowledge, but in a step-by-step process. So this is the whole explanation about this, to understand what is the type of guru that we must approach, the spiritual guru. So the general translation becomes, learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him with reverence and render service unto him. Such an enlightened saint can impart knowledge into you because he has seen the truth. And another preparation for the student is, we saw the Sadhana Chatushtayam. I hope we all remember it. So we saw like there were 4 qualities. One was the Vivekam, which is the discrimination. Vairagyam, which was a non-attachment. Mumukshutvam was the intense desire for liberation. That was the 4th point. And then we saw Shat Sampatti. We saw 6 qualities. One was a Damaha, which was control of the senses. We have seen this elaborately in chapter 2 and other chapters as well. Shamaha, which is the control of the mind. Uparati means continued control of the mind and the senses. Titiksha means patience, tolerance. Shraddha is faith. And Samadhana is focus on the goal. So these qualities are needed for the disciple to purify his mind and move towards the last sadhana of Atmajnana.